If it's not, if it doesn't, it should be on now. But if it doesn't pop right away, just let me know. That way we can. Yeah, we are live now. Good morning. Well, Twitch got the whole Formula One talk. You know what? So if you're following if you're following on Twitch, you definitely got it.
Yeah, if you're following on Twitch, or if you have Twitch, you got the first 15 minutes of the show where Tyson broke down lap dances, strip clubs, seeing Tiesto live, meeting all the F1 racers, doing bumps and caviar, the amazing weekend that he had. If you're not subscribed on Twitch, download Twitch. Go subscribe to the Uninformed Fan, because that is exclusive content. We don't charge you for something on a Patreon or anything like that. You know, we don't do any of that. You just got to go get Twitch. You got to subscribe to the Uninformed Fan, and you got to watch the first 15 minutes of the show. Absolutely.
And it will be up on the podcast, because we'll start this one. This will be our first podcast release. Boom, there it is.
Okay. Perfect.
So yeah, it was definitely a very interesting weekend.
Give me the highest of a highlight and the lowest of a low light from the weekend.
The highest of the highlight would have to be probably the dinner at Surf Club next to the Billionaires and the Aston Martin team. And let me tell you why, because, there's a lot of people that were in the other room trying to get in the other room, take pictures, stuff like that. My wife asked me, she goes, do you want to go over there? I said, absolutely not. And I said, let me tell you, I go, if I had an opportunity to be in a room with Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso or Lawrence Stroll, I'm sitting next to Lawrence Stroll every single time. Every single time. And, you just being in that environment, I came back, juices are flowing. We're ready to make a big push on the music and movie stuff now. We got a couple scripts that we're going to really start pushing. We definitely have the music tracks that we're going to start pushing as well. And then I'm absolutely on a mission to unload almost all of my memorabilia that I have here. So if you follow us, thomasmemorabilia.com, make sure you check it out, because there's going to be some serious deals coming on. Going to be a lot of deals.
Merch.
But
merch. Did you you said you approached LL Cool J with your your
I did not.
album, or
I did not.
Oh, okay.
So here's what happened with LL Cool J.
Tongue in cheek, if you will.
We were coming back from dinner, and I can see him. I couldn't tell it was LL Cool J, but he was talking to somebody, and this dude had an outfit that was something straight out of the Matrix. Like, I'm talking black from head to toe. The overcoat all the way down. It was like black. It was sparkly. He had boots on, smaller guy. And I immediately looked at my wife. I go, what in the Matrix is that? And as I'm saying, what in the Matrix is that? And I'm walking by, I'm looking, I'm like, oh shit, that's LL Cool J. And of course, we're a little bit behind there. And my wife starts freaking out. She's like, oh my God, can I go back? Can I get a picture? I'm like, no, you can't. You're not going back there and asking him for a picture. She goes, well, do you want to go back and get a picture? I go, Bianca, when have I ever asked a celebrity for a picture with them? I don't know. I thought maybe it would change this time. No. But the funny thing is these two guys come in behind us, and they get in the elevator with us. And she's like, oh, you saw LL Cool J? I go, yeah. They're like, yeah, but we didn't really know what time. I go, what, you looking at the Matrix guy, weren't you? And we just all started dying laughing. It was absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I did not drop my mixtape to Mr. LL Cool J. That actually was part of the F1, the whole thing that a lot of people didn't like. I guess Miami's the only one that did the introductions like that. The drivers kind of complained about it as well, because, they go out there, they do their position lap, they come back, they get out of the car, then they have to go backstage again, then they get introduced out, then they go back into the pits. They're like, dude, what is happening here? Like, and that's kind of the thing that, I probably won't go back again, to be perfectly honest with you, because it's to be honest, F1 is an absolutely rich man sport, and this is over any other sport that I've ever been in. I'm talking about glass hockey tickets. I'm talking about, Magic floor seats, Bulls floor seats, anything. The Miami F1 and F1 in general, to enjoy it the way that a fan would be able to enjoy it, it's not feasible. It's just not feasible.
I saw something where they were selling food. I forget who screenshotted something. It was a viral thing going around the internet. And all these things were like serves four. And it was like a lobster roll was $450.
Right. But you understand what that was, though, right? So that was in the beach club area, and that's all table service. And if you looked on there, the bottles were $500-$600. That would be just like getting a table at 11. That would just be like getting at a table at Live. These are optional things. You know, he was in the high exclusive area, and you're going to pay high exclusive prices in those areas if you want the table service. We went over. We had the food and the beer tents were out, and there was so much food and beer. The lines were not long. We had poke bowls. We had pizzas. They had the turkey legs out there. They had the carnival food. They had lemonades. They had empanadas, fresh guacamole. There was so many food options that the fact that got posted and that everybody thinks that that's what it was is absolutely atrocious. Now, I will say that Wagyu sandwich, yeah, that was not good. But as far as reasonable stuff, I mean, they were not price gouging whatsoever. My wife got a double Stoli Elite and soda for $15. I mean, that's cheap if you want to talk about a festival type thing.
Sorry, you said a double Stoli Elite and soda for $15?
Yes.
How?
That's what they were charging.
That's incredible.
Maybe she rang it up different. I don't know. But my high noon was only like $8, maybe.
Okay. It's more than that at Boathouse.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There was plenty. Now, I will say that the one big thing that I do have a problem with is the F1 merchandise. So F1 merchandise is obviously this is a European sport. Everything is European. Everything is based on European. Well, Europeans are not as fat as us. Let's just be honest. They're just not as fat as us. They're not. They have more regulations in their food. They're just, I don't know. They're just not as fat as us. So the sizing difference, like I had a team like a t-shirt that was a 3X. I normally wear a 2X. It was a 3X and it fit. After Thursday at the track, they were sold out of pretty much everything extra large and higher. I mean, it was nuts. Not only that, I got
slobs rolled in and bought everything.
Yeah, I got a nice little Miami floppy hat, right? And it was $90. Now, whatever. I was getting burnt. I wanted something else. I paid it. Then I get in the car on the way home, scrolling through Facebook. I get an ad on there that the same hat is $65. Like the polos that they're selling for $140. They're online for $99 from the exact same store. I mean, so not only are you, and let's be honest here, guys. You could get a campus pass ticket, which means you don't have a seat. You could just walk around for all 3 days for, I think it was like $650. That was for all 3 days. Okay, that's the cheapest ticket you get. If you want a seat, you're at $1,500 or higher for all 3 days. And then they want to price gouge on this as well. Again, it's more the glitz and glams, man. Like you said, it's all about the celebrities. And that's what really pisses me off because they're the ones that can pay it. And let's be honest, they're not paying for it. Do you think Jeff Bezos went in there and paid $10,000 a ticket for a Paddock Club ticket? No. But anyway, so yeah, I don't think that we're going to be doing that anymore. But it was a great experience, you know, to watch Max come back from 9th all the way up. The second racer in history to do that. We watched Checo. He just couldn't hold on. The amount of Checo fans there was absolutely amazing. The Mexican armies, they were behind us. They had their full on, I don't know, what's a wrestling mask that they wear?
Luchador.
Yeah,
right?
dude. There was probably thousands of people having those on. Every time he came around, you know, the flags are flying. It was a great experience as a fan. But you know what? For $79 a year, I'm going to sit on my couch and I'm probably going to watch, you know, the main one, and I can watch both of the racers' drivers from any viewpoint that I want. But yeah. It was a good weekend, though. Good weekend. I'm absolutely rinsed. Miami is just, woo! Miami's
Hamilton race. Was he? How Lewis Hamilton did?
He finished, I do believe, 6th.
I know he had a lot of strong opinions about the state of Florida and you know, the way that we are here. So I was just curious as to how he actually raced.
Yeah, you know, he he picked up the mainstream media, you know, and about how, you know, Florida just doesn't, you know, appreciate anybody that's outside of the norm type thing. And he showed his solidarity by wearing a rainbow on his helmet. But, you know, I will say he did come out and also say, you know, this is no different than when we race in Saudi Arabia. You know, the laws that they have there, you know, in regards to...
Our laws are exactly the same as Saudi Arabia, is what he's saying?
He definitely compared the two, yes.
very interesting because I mean,
Very interesting. Very
like,
interesting. Because I do believe
I
over
don't.
there they execute people for certain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and being here in the wonderful, beautiful state of Florida that I've lived in my whole life that I never plan on leaving, I feel like we are an amazing melting pot of people, and
I,
at the end of the day, I can tell you that almost 95% of the people here, I would say, do not care what you do behind closed doors or what live whatever way you want to live. We love you for who you are. We accept you for who you are. I think a lot of times, I don't know. It's upsetting to me to hear that and always hear Florida trash in the media and stuff like that when I feel like we are such a melting pot. And if you think that's wrong, go to a place like, Disney, that celebrates pride, or, go to Miami and go to some of these pride events, dude. Just go get out and actually talk to people and don't stare at your television and make judgments and assessments based off that. It pisses me off.
well,
Anyway.
all it is just watching the mainstream news. I mean,
Yeah.
the mainstream news is the one that picked up and said that the don't say gay bill is what they just pretty much said there. It's nothing to do with that, but that's a topic for another time because we do have Gap Wedge Wednesday coming up, and we got a few other topics to talk about first. But yeah, what an amazing weekend! Again, of course my wife will use any reason to go to Miami. I don't think that I will be back at the Miami Grand Prix. If I do, it will be I won't take those seats. It'll have to be in a hospitality type area, and even then, to me, it's just not worth it. For what you can spend over there in Miami with the hotels, everything. You can fly over. This is what we talked about. Fly over to England and go to the Silverstone or one of those events. You can go over there for a week, and get all your stuff paid for what you're paying for a weekend in Miami.
I mean, for what you spent, you could go to Italy or, you could go anywhere over in Europe pretty much and, go do the thing for a little bit and use my Marriott discount worldwide and get taken care of. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe there'll be a Four Seasons discount in the near future. You never know.
You never know. You absolutely never know.
Well, while we were down there, obviously the Knicks were in town for the NBA. They did play the Miami Heat. They were staying at the hotel. Didn't get to see Derrick Rose. That was one person I was really kind of looking forward to. His family was down by the pool. Of course, I just wanted to make sure that, he was going to come down, but he didn't. That would have been the only player that I might have walked by and just said, Chicago still loves you. Chicago still loves you, my boy.
I think it's always cool to say to those people, too, and be like, hey, listen, just want to say I appreciate everything you did for my city. I'll always be a fan of yours no matter what team you're on for the way that you showed up and showed out for us. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
I think that's always like a very brief snippet that you can say to a celebrity or an athlete or something like that and really, hit home with them as well, too.
I think the last time I did it was Kyle Schwarber. He was in the casino with me. When he walked by, I said, Schwarber slammed it up, baby. Of course. But yes, the Knicks win again. The Heat won again. They take a 3-1 lead going into the weekend. It's definitely looking like the Knicks Cinderella story is going to be over here. So it is what it is. Like you said, they were trying. Like you said, they were trying to get in some Rays before they leave because they definitely ain't coming back to Miami.
That's how I was like, it seems like they're. Yeah, and what's funny is I feel like they might fight pretty hard tonight to get back to Miami for one more game. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I can tell you, it sure did look like everybody was having a good time. I will say that.
Oh yeah,
they were definitely enjoying
pictures. Like, it was like 3 or 4 hours before game time, and they're all chilling at the pool. I'm like, oh my god, dude, what is going on right now? You're in the NBA playoffs with a chance to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and you're out here chilling poolside.
Well, what's funny though, when we
airball and free throws. But
when we left a little bit early. First of all, when we left on Monday, I thought it was Sunday for some reason. I thought I was leaving Sunday to beat the traffic. I left right in the middle of rush hour traffic. But if we were thinking right, the Knicks were about to leave the hotel to go to the game, and we didn't realize it until we started pulling out. We saw the bus pull up, the cops are all there, and all the fans are standing down, with their Knicks gear and stuff. We were like, we probably should have just hung out in the lobby for a few minutes, just to watch the whole team go by. But yeah,
whatever.
They're not coming back. The biggest surprise to me is the Lakers-Warriors. Lakers up 3-1 here. The Lakers team is getting it done. I mean, the Warriors just look absolutely defeated. I don't think that. I don't know. You never know. You never know the NBA. But
Jordan Poole has just been a no-show, and I don't know how they get rid of that contract and get rid of that kid this year. But seems very toxic.
The comment that I already made it. Well, I don't know what you expect me to do when you only play 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You have the biggest impact you
That
can.
was
Look
the
at,
exact comment.
moving on to, the Celtics, but, you saw Pritchard come in a little bit. That dude was running all around the floor yesterday, trying to make an impact. That's what you do with your minutes. That's what you do. That's how you get a new team, a new contract. You can stay in the league, is you make the most of your minutes. That's all. If you don't know that by now at this level, I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I definitely think Golden State will win tonight. I think the Lakers think that they can do the same thing that they did against the Grizzlies. And when they were up 3-1 and, lost to Memphis, kind of mailed it in Game 5, and then headed back to LA for Game 6 and closed it out there. But this is a dangerous team. Do not play with them. Listen, you want to make sure that you put a bullet in that animal that's playing dead. Anyway,
nice recovery.
There was a metaphor that I had in there.
Nice
moving on.
So last night, you talked about the cream rising to the top. The 76ers looked absolutely great. The Boston Celtics looked absolutely in shambles. To me, this just goes right back to the head coach. I mean, this is his first year. I don't know if he's been a coach before. I don't think he has. First playoffs, whatever. But he does not have this team ready to go. It shows on the court. They are discombobulated. They don't know how to stop the James Harden pick and roll. They don't know how to create anything on offense. When you have Al Horford putting up 8 3-pointers, and that is your go-to priority shot selection, you're not going to beat the Philadelphia 76ers. He did have an off day, which normally, again, he does hit some 3-pointers. But again, I think he was 0 for 8 from the 3-point line. And that's just not, and to your point, I think you said a while ago that, you question how Al Horford is going to be able to guard Joel Embiid. And from what I saw last night, he is absolutely terrified to guard Joel Embiid. I've never in my life seen somebody guard a big man and not have the forearm front. And it's literally like this. Like both hands out on him, trying to stop him in any way, fouling him pretty much every single time. I don't know. Maybe put Williams out there on it. I don't know if he's bodying him up, but they're double teaming. The 76ers are kicking out, and they're just absolutely destroyed the Boston Celtics. I don't see how the Celtics come back. But, again, this could be one of the times where you got a Marcus Smart type that pulls these guys together in the locker room, said, hey, guys, this is what we're doing. We're winning in Philadelphia this night. We're bringing it back home to Garden. We're going to finish this. I'm really, really looking forward to Game 6 in this one.
Philly better come out with a killer instinct. But I will say this about Al Horford. He did have 5 blocks the game before. He was an integral part of them winning that game down the stretch as well, too, as he was just kind of manhandling Embiid at the very end of the game. Obviously, it goes to overtime, and then James Harden, hits the shot to send him there as well. But this is kind of the recipe for success for Philly. If Joel Embiid can hit those mid-range jumpers, Tyrese Maxey can play like he needs to. Harden doesn't have to do a lot. He still has 10 dimes, 18 points last night, and a few rebounds. It's a recipe for success for them, and it's what.
Absolutely. Though then we have the Nuggets and the Suns. The Nuggets did pull out last night, right? I do believe.
Yes.
And they were up 3-2. What a comeback from the Phoenix Suns. I think regardless of what the situation outcome is, and I do believe the Denver Nuggets will get it done, is that they showed heart. They showed heart without CP3. Devin Booker is absolutely solidifying himself as a superstar in this league, alongside
top 5 player in the league. Absolutely.
I don't know about.
I take him as a top 5 player in the league right now.
Jeffrey's top 5. Obviously his GOAT probably number 1. But
no, LeBron's not top 5 in the league anymore.
Really?
No.
Don't think we've ever seen that.
Not in the entire league. No, I think he'd probably tell you that. He has the confidence that he thinks he's the number 1 best player.
He's the best player in the world. He says it every year. Best player in the world. I don't think anytime Jordan played, he wasn't a top 5 player.
I'm just going to ignore that comment. I do think you see a big Jamal Murray Game 6. If you don't, Phoenix could send it back to a Game 7. But I think Jamal Murray is the key to that series. Jokic was great last night as well, too. That little tiff that they had, though, where Kevin Durant pushed, Jokic is trying to, get into the middle of their huddle. They're having, a team huddle, and Jokic is just trying to barge into the middle, and KD pushes him off, and they call it technical, and Kevin Durant is just...
Question from YouTube, from TJ. Jason Tatum or Devin Booker?
I would take Devin Booker, honestly.
This is why your GOAT debate has no merit.
I know that Tatum is longer, bigger, but this
Really?
Lankier. All right, we're not doing this.
Jeff's giving you some behind the scenes information here, boys and girls.
But I think the way that Devin Booker handles the ball, I think the way that he forces the action in the high pick and roll, and the way that he's able to knock down shots, to me, if I was starting a team, I would take Booker over Tatum personally.
Justice still is asking who's stopping the Miami Heat. I don't know, Justice. I don't know.
Whoever wins the Celtics and Philly series is going to stop the Miami Heat, Justice.
There you have it. There you have it. Yeah, this is definitely some shower info. I don't know. Jeffrey has some serious behind the scenes and connections with these players. I sometimes I wonder if it's maybe just a little too close, but that is definitely for shower drain.
Yeah, Wedge Wednesday.
Shower drain stays clogged. My God, Ian's in the house. Welcome, Ian.
Shut up, bro. God bless.
Real quick, Major League, we haven't talked a whole lot about Major League Baseball, which we will dive into a little bit more, obviously, when the playoffs are over. However, we do have to talk about the Rays' hot start. I picked them to win that division. They are absolutely just mowing down people. What a great start. One of the best starts in the history of Major League Baseball. And with that being said, they still can't draw in attendance. They're looking for a new stadium. And lo and behold, Jeffrey, I happened to see an article. Do you know where a new stadium might be built?
Right here in Orlando.
Orlando. The Orlando Dreamers was the proposal by the original founder of the Orlando Magic. Obviously, we all hate the word Orlando Dreamers. Nobody likes that. However, the Orlando Rays sound really, really good to me. Let's move them over. There is no support in Tampa. We're about to build a $1.4 billion stadium, all-inclusive, entertainment district. Let's bring them in.
Absolutely. I think it'd be a great move for them. You already have the marketing done because the Rays were a minor league affiliate, I believe, years and years ago. Remember, the Cubs first had the minor league affiliate out at Tinker, and then it switched over to the Rays, I believe, the Orlando Rays. So I think you already have the marketing in place. You already have merch that you can be able to print up real quick. I think it'd be great. I think you put it over in the district of the tourism and everything like that and kind of build off of that. Listen, you have a huge following already. That's there. That being said, I don't know if you will see attendance numbers any better than what they are in St. Pete right now. They have to be better, strictly based off of transient guests and people who are coming in and saying, what, screw it, let's go watch a game for the night. But I don't know if it will be as significant as Orlando thinks it will be. They did have good attendance for the Magic. They do have decent attendance when Orlando City is good. But yeah, we will see what happens.
Well, nothing like, the Orlando City, I mean, I'll put the attendance straight on the owners because when that thing came out, Orlando City had more support than any other major league team that I've seen in quite some time.
We had the Citrus Bowl full.
We were fighting for tickets. Day. We were fighting for tickets that entire first year. So
me and Tyson were sitting with the birds up at the very top. The birds were hanging out with us. We were staring at each other.
There was definitely some vultures circling. I do remember that because I was so hungover. It was not good. It was not good. So, I do remember that.
Great day. I had a great time that day.
Absolutely. The boys' fantasy team is heating up. Our players are finally coming along. The team that we drafted is finally coming together. Just took them a little while, just like every other team I draft. It takes them a little bit to get going. The boys are heating up. Look out. We are coming for you.
Tough matchup with Buff this week as he's got a pretty good team as well too, but we're going to try to chase him down today. We'll see what happens.
He had a few more pitchers going. We got 5 pitchers going today. It's going to put up 100 points between those 5 pitchers.
That you're pretty excited, and I do know we want to bring in the boys here for Wedge Wednesday as well too, but I did want Jeremy to touch on a very big moment that happened in Chicago sports. What was it, a couple nights ago?
Absolutely. Thursday night, I believe.
2 nights ago.
Yeah, 2 nights ago. Yeah, 2 nights ago, there obviously is some controversy going on along with the NHL lottery picks. And, of course, the biggest controversy was when they went to announce the 3rd pick, which ended up being, I do believe, the Columbus Blue Jackets. They didn't even show the card turn. During the broadcast, they just said, with the 3rd pick, the Columbus Blue Jackets, and they went to commercial break, and that was it. Then they came back, and, of course, my Chicago Blackhawks, Jeremy's Chicago Blackhawks, ended up with the number 1 overall pick. We got Connor Beard, which is, obviously he's on tap to be the next greatest NHL player that there is. The rebuild has begun. We are in a much better place. Everybody's tabbing us now 2 to 3 years to be back in it. I know I'm excited. So watching some of the video of the players and not the players, I'm sorry, the fans that having watch parties and stuff for this was just a huge, huge thing. They sold, I do believe, it was something like 5,000 more full season tickets and then 10,000 more season tickets after the draft. So Blackhawks hockey hopefully is coming back. We're good to go. Hopefully.
I mean, I know you were following this pretty closely. Any thoughts on Connor Bedard and the ability of him to be, almost like LeBron James in a sense in terms of how hyped this guy is coming in?
Well, though a lot of the NFL or NHL guys are saying this is a generational talent, very similar to Connor McDavid with Edmonton. So, I mean, when you hear that and you watch the videos of him, I'm very excited as a Blackhawk fan. Well, I'm also going to say we've got $40 million in cap space right now to spend 8 draft picks in the first 3 rounds of the NHL draft. Doesn't sound like a lot, but you can really build a core team similar to what they did with Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane back in the day. And so it's an exciting time. But like you said, it's a 2 to 3 year process. Once Connor gets in there, gets into the nutritional system, gets into the strength and conditioning system with the Blackhawks, he can get a little bit bigger, keep that speed, keep that offensive prowess that he has, and take us back.
Absolutely. To your point about that, hockey picks are a little bit different. Hockey picks are kind of like the same as baseball picks, right? When very rarely do you see, unless you get a Bryce Harper type, do you see somebody that's drafted out of the MLB go straight to the pros. It's kind of one of those things where, it takes a little bit, and, outside of someone like a Connor Bedard, all of that, those other picks that Jeremy's talking about, those are players that are going to have to be developed and pushed down the road a little bit. And, Ian, to your point, bring Kane back. He has already said that he doesn't want to come back. He said that they're in a rebuild and he has no interest in being part of a rebuild. So any hope that we had of Patrick coming back is out the window.
But just like any other franchise, when you hear a bunch of draft picks, you hear a generational talent you're going to be able to draft as well too, and cap space. That's a great job by your management recognizing what was coming down the pipe. And obviously, yes, you get lucky with the first pick and so on and so forth, but you put yourself in position to be able to rebuild as well too. Let's bring the boys in.
I guess we're in.
It's here we are.
I guess we're here.
I guess we're here. Here we are finally. A little bit late today. I do apologize about that. We did go over a little bit, but it is a pleasure to have the boys in here for our Gap Wedge Wednesday, and I think this could actually be called a victory lap. Here's your flowers Wednesday as well too. Well done, boys. Well done. Well done. Paul, I know you did have Wyndham Clark as an outright winner this past week. So congratulations to you. What were your thoughts on the tournament and the way everything played out?
First, hello, good morning. Thank you. That was very nice. Yeah, the Wells Fargo. A lot of what we expected. So you had a couple guys, Chantley, maybe didn't perform quite as well as we thought he would with LaCava on the bag. That might be a partnership that takes a little time to come to fruition. Rory did what we expected him to do. Not quite ready for prime time. But Wyndham Clark at 75-1 was a great hit, so can't be bad about that.
And if you listened, if you tailed, if you used the picks, then I'm sure you definitely made some money. Chad, how'd your week go this week? Obviously, you guys are a package deal, 1-1, but well done this week as well too, Chad.
Thank you. Yeah, I tailed my boy. He put something out there. I seem interested. I like to go and make some money too. So it was a good weekend.
It's good to see Paulie finally break through as well too. Now I know going forward, we do have the tournament this week that we're looking at is the AT&T Byron Nelson. Paul, what are we looking at in terms of breakdown of the golf course this week, and what do we expect to see happen here?
EPC Craig Ranch. It's in McKinney, Texas, which I just learned was outside Fort Worth from my Texas friend. We have a par of 71. Yardage just over 7,400 yards, and the stimp meter reads 11.5 on the fact sheet, which means it's going to be a little slower than most top end events. So the greens that we just got off of were Bermuda and rolling 12 plus 13-ish. These are going to be bent grass, and because of that Texas wind, they have to keep them a little slower. So if you're posting 11.5 on the fact sheet, they're going to be a little slower than normal tour event.
Heard that. Now we do have a guy who's won here multiple times in terms of the Lee, Mr. Lee over here. Is what three times in a row. Cage Lee goes for a three-peat this year in the AT&T Byron Nelson. Chad, what do you see playing out here in terms of what kind of golfers are we targeting this week?
Well, pretty much like all the South American courses, the Puerto Rico, the Mexico, it's wide open, so you can hit the ball pretty much anywhere off the tee. So it's not going to be very important. Distance does help a little bit because it's a longer course, but this is going to be all about approaches. Tee to green approach and greens regulation have been the big outliers for this course in the 4 events that have been held there. So you want guys that can hit it close and get a hot putter this week, and that's what KH Lee has done the last 2 years. And it's kind of weird that that in Texas, for some reason, Koreans, Australians, and Texans seem to be the ones that take to the wind a lot, and they somehow play better out there.
Only 2 things I know from Texas are steers and queers.
That's FCC regulated, right?
They should put that in a movie.
Yeah, you should patent that line.
It's a pretty good one, actually.
It's not
apparently really good golfers too, because Jesus, they're all in top 10 in the world and shit.
Well, I mean, speaking of really good golfers, right? We lost a guy this week who was supposed to play in Jordan Spieth, who injured his wrist. Do we think that that's going to be an issue going forward as they start gearing up for the PGA, or you think this is just kind of like a maintenance thing where they're just gonna make sure that they don't push it a little bit?
For Spieth to miss this it's
major.
It's got to be a big yes. I mean, I don't know if it's major, but he's definitely not happy about having to miss it. But he's definitely going to be fine for the PGA, I believe.
I love Tyson's face right now. Tyson, it's a line from Full Metal Jacket. Okay, you've seen it anyway. Well, what do we? Anybody we're targeting? Go ahead. What do you got?
No comment.
Yeah. So just on the. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I cutting somebody off?
No, you're absolutely fine. Tyson's
Okay.
just shocked that I said queer on a podcast. So.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I can't believe you did that.
We're not going to get back into a Bud Light conversation, are we?
No.
Okay.
I don't drink that anymore.
You dummies, you idiots! You know how much things InBev owns, by the way. Who are like, I'm not drinking Bud Light, yada yada yada. Okay, don't drink Corona, don't drink Stella, don't drink.
Okay.
There's 50 beers you can't drink.
They're not.
No problem.
I have
drinking.
DM
English piss, I'm not
tattooed on my
drinking.
butt cheek.
Keep it local.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. Drink Crooked Can IPAs like High Stepper that Paulie Parputz has as the #1 IPA ever made by man.
IPAs are trash.
It's pretty close. I mean, it's all right. This is
All right, we'll get back on track here. Paul, who do we like this week in terms of what are we looking at? And who are we targeting?
fair, guys. Table the beer conversation for a slower week, right? We have one comment on the Jordan Spieth situation is I believe that this is a maintenance week. He commented after the Masters that he was fatigued both mentally and physically, then came back and performed really well.
Because he's no glory.
He just missed the cut at Wells Fargo. Shot 7 over the course of 2 days, and so when you have rounds that bad, this is a la Justin Rose dropping 7 in the water at Bay Hill and withdrawing with a back injury. That's what I believe. This is Jordan taking the week off so he can be ready for the PGA.
It's not an elevated event either, so it's not like he's going to be getting docked any money or anything like that, or he's missing out on whatever the contractual obligations that he has with Edmonton.
He's going to take no heat, and he's going to lose no loyalty from the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
No,
AT&T might be mad at him though.
AT&T, that's a different story. I mean,
he's a golden boy. He's fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine. No one's going to drop him ever.
All right. So,
so the guys we're looking at.
Paul, who do we look at? Yeah, who are we looking at this week?
Up at the top of the board. He just took a week off to get his neck checked out. The week before a major, I like Hideki Matsuyama. He does all the things that we like for him to do. Here, his approach game is great. He can get a hot putter. We've seen him putt to win an event on bent. He has a green jacket because of it. So the things where he maybe struggles are not necessarily penalized at a course like this.
He was born in the right country also.
He is from Japan.
Oh, well, it's Asia.
Yeah. Asia's a continent.
Yeah, it's big.
Valid.
Chad, anybody you like at the top of the board here?
I'm going to go with someone I know who is Australian. It's Jason Day, mate.
Love me some Jason Day this week, actually.
I'm glad I could make you happy.
My what about?
Jason Day. I'm always ruining your whatabouts. Get a guy that's like not up there. That's a what about.
All right, fine. I'll try to figure something else out in the middle of this podcast while we're doing
Jason Day is basically from Ohio at this point. Jason Day being from Australia is like the Olive Garden being from Italy.
Hey, still look at his stats in Texas.
I'm surprised Jeff likes him since he's not long and lanky.
Plays well in Texas. Cannot argue that, and his recent stats point to a good showing here.
All right, so
you want to do a middle of the board, bud?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we got Hideki Matsuyama. We got Jason Day, top of the board. Who are we looking at middle? Give me a middle and a bottom, if you don't mind, as well, too.
Don't you dare laugh about that.
Why don't we just make a sandwich?
Oh, man. Are we doing this 12-year-old shit again?
No, we're not.
Jeff's in his element today.
We're not.
This is
We're not
great.
doing it. Okay.
All right, so since you wanted a sandwich, that's my next guy, Tom Hoagie. There it is.
Look at that. Look how you brought that together.
Guess I just got to go ahead and put it in there,
Nice work, bro.
I like him. His approach game is really good. It's going to be key. He's number one in proximity on our model. So
playing well lately too, right?
Yeah, and he does well in windy conditions, I'm pretty sure. Another guy in that kind of middle level area that plays very well in Texas is Matt Kuchar. And I'm not sure about his qualifications for the PGA. If he wins, if he needs to win to get in, I can't remember with him. But he's been playing well lately, and he plays very well in Texas. Are we doing long shots now too, or just gonna go to Paul
might as well
mid?
throw one out there.
Kick it back. Go ahead. Give us
a guy from he's from Fort Worth, went to Oklahoma State, been playing very well lately. I don't know how he's number one on our model, but Samuel Stevens is a guy that I like. He's been playing good in windy conditions. And the Puerto Rico Open, I think he was third. Matt Wallace. But I really like him to play, not necessarily win, but I feel like if you go across the board on him, top 5, top 10, top 20, you'll get paid this week.
It's a great nugget there. Anybody you got middle and long shot for us, Paul?
Yeah, Stevens' event in Texas was the Valero, and he finished second there. So I kind of co-signed that one. We have Mark Hubbard is the next guy on our model. I never trust Mark Hubbard and his miniature golf
His
putter.
2-foot putter.
Oh man, it's shorter than
My
mine.
daughter's putter.
And I'm 5 short. Let's see. I think Jaeger's a guy I like in the middle. Go back to Steven Jaeger and the Jaeger bombs here at
Do a shot of Jaeger with a hoagie sandwich.
AT&T. And then we have both Woo brothers in the field this week.
Woo woo.
I am going to say,
Ooh.
hot take,
This is
Dylan Woo finishes ahead of Brandon Woo this week.
Damn it. I was going to bet you on that, but you took my woo.
Oh, you guys want the same woo?
We're on the same page. Yeah, we have the same woo.
I'll give you both woos, and I'll take Sue.
Ooh.
That's not bad.
Whoever wins straight
They're
up
right
with
next
me.
to each other.
What are we betting?
No, I'm not going to do that.
You sure?
Uh-huh.
You don't trust your woo?
2 woos to 1 Sue? I don't know. I feel like
that's a good. That's a 2-1 bet right there, and I'm giving you straight up.
Oh, if it's straight up, I'll take it.
Oh, okay.
All right, we'll talk about that later.
So who's got the woos? Who's got the 2 woos?
Paul's got the woos. I got the Sue.
He's got the woos. You got the Sue. And what are we talking about here? Dinner?
Oh, probably a round of golf.
Yeah, something.
A
like
round of golf. I love that. A round of golf. All right. So you heard it here, right there. Book it on the board. Round of golf. We have the woos. We have Matsuyamas. We have Kuchers. We have Jaegers. We have Stevens. Right? Stevens. Was the long shot guy from Oklahoma State outside of the Fort Worth area as well too. I mean, listen, I know he's going to be tough to bet, but I mean, Scotty Scheffler in a position like this has got to be, I mean, just a monster favorite here, right?
Yeah, he's like 3-1, but that's the thing is like you can take other guys top 20 and have 20 positions rather than having Scotty Scheffler just toast to win.
And that's great.
Just like with Rahm and Finau,
Right.
They were out there. Rahm was a 3-1. He still didn't win, so you're not getting any kind of value off him for anything. Like you can't really put him top 5 and get paid. So
I feel like if you're building a lineup, let's say you're building like a fantasy lineup or a weekly lineup or something like that, though, I might just shove Scotty in, and then we'll kind of dance around some of these other picks, the woos and the Sues and the Matsuyamas.
If you want to do something like that, put Scotty in there, and then there's some guys at the very bottom, like a DK or FanDuel lineup, like Sung Kang is like 6,000. It's like the very bottom level, but he's actually won here before.
So we don't like the
not at this course.
Not on this course, but he's won this event.
This event, yeah.
So
speaking specifically from it's only been held at this course the last 2 years when
KH Lee course.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
So this is TPC Lee course. We have the last 2 years when Lee won, he was 100-1 and 150-1. He's around 18-1 this year. So you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to pay for him this year if you believe in the 3P. Now that being when he first won, that's correct. When you're setting your DK lineups, speaking of what you were talking about, Jeff, the last 2 years, the millionaire maker for this event, or the main event in DraftKings, was won by stars and scrubs. So you had
KH was a scrub then.
Well, that's right. KH Lee was like 6,900 or 6,800. But you also had the guys who had finished, who had out-kicked their coverage big time from the bottom, and then the guys at the top. Spieth finished second to him last year.
Yeah.
So you had to pay for Spieth to get that second place. To your point, Jeff, if you put Scotty in and he finishes T10, you're getting value on him. But you're getting points from him, but you're not getting the value. The difference is you are getting so much value from that bottom end of the board that it makes up for it. So sure, you can put Scotty in and he doesn't have to win in order to win this week, but it's just because of the enormous discrepancy between his talent and the rest of the field. Is he the best golfer in the field? By far.
When's the last time?
Is he going to be the best? Yeah, is he going to be the best golfer in the field on Sunday? Maybe. His history at events that either come before majors and or are in light fields with easy conditions, his best finish was 15th. So he's a bottom 30 guy. I don't think this piques his interest. Maybe he wins. I'm never going to count out the number one golfer in the field by far.
He's at home too, so like.
But I'm not betting him.
What I was thinking too. I'm like, he's in Texas, like just an anchor for your lineup that you know is going to get money. But if there's no, you know, is going to score points and probably definitely make it cut and be around the top. I just felt like, you know, that's kind of an interesting thought. But you saying that he's not great before majors as a tune-up, kind of steering me away now.
Yeah, you never know the mindset of a guy that you know before a major. You know, so it's. Does he want to go out there and win, or is he just going out there working on stuff that he needs for the next week? You know,
he's third in our model. It doesn't. He hasn't finished outside of the top 12 in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 events. The CJ Cup was the last time he was outside of the top 12, and then prior to that, it was a 2 at the Tour Championship and 3. You have to go back to last year's FedEx St. Jude for a miscut, and then the Open Championship for a 21. The guy's unbelievable.
that's why you got to pay so much to be like a top 10. You're like
Right.
4 to. You got to pay 4 to 1 to get top 10s on this guy.
Right. He
Hey,
finished. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go finish what you're going to say.
He finished 15th here last year. This course after
Was that
winning the Masters a month prior.
Was that? Is it in the same spot as last year? Was the same spot as this year, like right before the major?
I don't. Yes, it was.
Right,
Yep,
then.
they played the Byron Nelson. He then missed the cut at the PGA.
Yes, I don't know about.
Are you guys following this Tiger story at all?
Yeah,
With him
I
and
mean-
his ex?
I mean enough. Like the same way I follow. If Taylor
Liv?
Swift is dating that guy from the 1975.
Well, that's
By the
news
way-
to me.
Tyson, isn't Taylor Swift supposed to be rumored to be dating some F1 driver?
I don't know. You should ask
Red
Ian for
Bull.
that. Ian's
I
the
guess
Swi-
Ian is the
Ian's the
Swiftie.
Swifty.
Ian is the Swifty of the group. I guess he could give us a little bit of insight on that.
Ian, if you're still
Well,
in there, give us the inside scoop there. I know that you're the biggest Swifty of the group.
He's not. He's moved on to Call of Duty now. So it's either that or Harry Potter. His interest is only locked in for so long before he sees a squirrel and his mind wanders around.
Ooh,
I was just looking at it and looking at the story about it, and very interesting. Tiger, of course, always in the headlines, always a grabber of your attention when you see his name.
He's
and
a needle
obvious-
mover.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, this whole thing, obviously they were very public and very together, and we knew that, she worked for him, and she's trying to get the non-disclosure agreement that she signed thrown out. So very interesting situation, something to monitor or not monitor. I don't really know. It's his personal life. But it is in the news.
Ian is there. F1 confirmed, he says.
F1 confirmed what, Ian? Who's Taylor Swift dating is what we want to know.
She just got out of a long-term relationship. She's probably getting around. I mean, let her live.
Oh, hey guys, one guy I forgot about. He's a Australian that looks Korean, so he's going to play well here. Is Minwoo Lee.
Minwoo Lee.
You're not going to see the good numbers on the PGA because he hasn't played here a lot. But before he came over to play PGA on World Tour, he had 4 straight top 15s, I believe, and 3 of those were top 5. So you might want to look into him. Just saying.
An Australian that looks Korean, you said.
Yeah, look him up. Minwoo Lee. He's a really good golfer too. And his sister's pretty good too.
What's his sister's name?
Something Lee, but she's up there in the LPGA. I don't know her name.
All right. I was
like
watching
a Swifty type deal, so
Did anybody see the LPGA last week? They had like some kind of like a country match play type thing going on.
I was wondering why they had their
Yeah.
names on their backs. That was
Did you
weird.
see that? They were wearing jerseys and stuff.
Yeah,
They were wearing hoodies with numbers that they got to choose on the backs. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I saw Nelly Corda and
Jessica Corda.
I thought it was
The
Nelly.
The
Well,
Corda
there's both of them.
sisters.
It was one of the
Two of them.
quarters. It was
Yeah.
one of the quarters, and it was Lexi Thompson, which was a funny clip too. Lexi Thompson hits a drive, and whoever's standing next to her yells "4 right," and she's like, "Dude, it's not even that bad. Chill out."
Lexi Thompson's great.
That's like us on the box.
It was. I was legit.
She wore number 20. Yeah, she wore number 22 and played with my favorite LPGA golfer, who is Danielle
Paige
Kang.
Sporadic.
No.
Danielle Kang is great. If you ever get a chance, listen.
Hey,
we
Danielle Kang, Sung Kang, boom.
We can say whatever we want about Barstool, and I know you're not a big fan of Rappaport, Paul, but when you look at the episode that they did with her, where she played the boys, it was her versus like the 3 or 4 of them. A fantastic, great for television. She is a dynamic personality and really, really cool. Made me a fan of her watching that. So it was really.
You talking about Danielle Kang?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the best.
Yeah, she's
I
awesome.
bet we could put together a foursome that our podcast could beat Barstool.
You think?
Scramble. Yeah. We should get that set up.
I think the 4 of us could beat Barstool.
Yeah. I wasn't lying when I said that.
I don't know though. Frankie's got a lot better. Frankie Broad's got a lot better.
We just need you to come along, and we'll be fine.
I mean, if we're going to talk about playing golf, Paul did beat me.
I can beat.
Like I said,
I can
when
beat
I heard
Trent
that-
any day.
Yeah, well, that's what you got to focus on, Paul.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, Paul tweaked his back and was still driving the ball pretty well. It's funny. He tweaked his back, but he didn't quit. Did not quit.
He's no Matsuyama, that's for sure.
Kept it moving.
I'm not a
Very
quitter.
interesting. Tyson, you got any thoughts for the boys? Anything you got for them?
I do not.
All right.
Hey,
Boys.
Blackhawks first pick, baby.
Yeah, what do you think about
Great to hear from you, man.
Connor Bedard? What do you think about Connor Bedard, Paul?
By all accounts, he's a generational guy. He's going to be the next McDavid or Crosby or Ovechkin, whichever one of these guys you want to put into that category. I think the Blackhawks have just, what did they sell, like $3 million in season tickets in 2 days or something like that? It's awesome.
Something like 1,500 season tickets. There's a lot of controversy around with it, not only just, as far as the usual lottery being rigged, but the fact of the punishment that they did not receive from a year ago from the sexual abuse scandal. There's a lot of people that are talking about that, how the Arizona Coyotes lost a first-round pick for holding pre-draft practice, and they lost the first round, but the Chicago Blackhawks only paid a $2 million fine, which they're calling that basically they paid for the first-round pick. So there's a lot of controversy going on along with this, but, it is what it is. The Blackhawks have it. Let's get it on. There's a lot of people already talking about trying to put together picks for a trade. The Boston Bruins are talking about or going after him. I don't think I don't think that the Chicago Blackhawks will trade him whatsoever. Nor should they, because they're not a win now team. They need to continue building. Does no good to bring in a great goaltender that has maybe 6-7 years left, or 5 or 3 or whatever, and another forward to give up a generational talent like this. I think they would be crazy if they do that. But it is Chicago sports, so you never know what will happen.
Everyone must be afraid of the Chicago Mafia, because extra practice, lose a first rounder, but rape is just some money. That's pretty funny.
I do know one. I know one person that's a little, obviously a little perturbed by it, and that guy is a very degenerate Washington fan, of course, as you know, Washington Capitals.
Who's perturbed by it?
Who do you think? Who do you know that's a Washington fan?
Really, he probably thought he had a chance of getting the first pick.
Shot.
He's tiny. Never compare him to Ovechkin. Rigged. I mean, the chat. I mean, you know.
Well, you can see the comments. I can't see the comments, so it is what it is.
I did hear the kid was small though, but I mean, he'll fill
He's
out, right?
17.
Exactly.
We're gonna get him on the HGH. I mean, it'll be great. A couple years, he'll be bigger. No big deal.
Yeah. You know what, Ian? You always talk about how much it sucks to be a Washington sports fan. Imagine being a Coyote fan. That's fucking even tougher.
Is it
Not
even
a real thing?
Is it Coyote or is it Coyote? Or is it like pecan and pecan? We just say it however we want. I don't even know.
I don't think it matters. They're beyond irrelevant.
I grew up, it was always Coyote, but I'm from Texas, so I don't really know.
You have a lot of Coyotes.
We do
That
things
is
different
different
out there.
That meant a different thing.
Exactly. Back in the day. All right.
Yeah, wait till tomorrow.
Appreciate you, boys. Thank you guys so much. As usual, It's a pleasure to have you on. We thank you for your insight, for everything that you bring to us, and everything you do. Great job. Appreciate you.
All right,
Fellas,
let's go pick
thanks as
some
always.
winners.
What?
Let's go pick some winners, boys.
Hey, don't forget you put your lineups in this week, everybody.
Yeah, lineups, guys, lineups. And
Yeah,
don't say you picked it and submitted
Jeremy.
it and then you really did
Listen,
because you were
we're
too
looking
drunk.
right at you, buddy. All right,
Double
appreciate
confirm.
you, boys. We'll talk to you next week.
See ya.
All right, later, guys.
Good stuff there for the boys. Jeffrey's frozen in time. I don't know if we lost him altogether. It looks like we might have. Jeffrey, yep. Yeah, looks like we might have lost him. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Nope, he is out of there. Lots of stuff to get on today's show. Oh, could be back. Oh, he's back. Welcome back, Jeffrey. Welcome back. Good to have you.
The Matrix caught up to itself. I don't know
Matrix
what
caught
happened
up.
right there. We kind of went out of wavelength for a minute, but we didn't go too far over too. I'm very proud of ourselves.
Yeah, we could have kept going for another hour because we didn't get into some of the NHL. We definitely didn't get into NFL, but we're going to cover that on Friday. We're going to break down the NFL schedule that's going to be released on Thursday. We're going to talk about our teams, who we like, who we don't like, how the Kansas City Chiefs got scared of playing the Chicago Bears in Germany, that they can't face them on a neutral field. We'll talk about all of that. We'll break it down Friday, and we'll start.
Sucks to be a wire.
And we'll talk about the Jags playing back-to-back weeks in London.
The London Jags.
The London
God
Jaguars.
Almighty.
Thanks for everybody for coming in today. Thanks for all the comments,
Appreciate
questions.
that.
Appreciate you guys. We appreciate it. We will talk to you guys on Friday. Everybody have a great day. Enjoy your hump day.
Be great.